They said she'll never make it, but they didn't know what pain can create.
Because for a long time, Maya lived in that silence. She woke up every morning in the small apartment where the walls carried more memories than comfort, where her fridge hummed louder than her heartbeat, and where her reflection in the cracked bathroom mirror looked like someone she used to know. She was 34, a Black woman in modern-day Atlanta, a place that glowed on social media but felt cold in reality. She had a job once, steady, predictable, the kind that paid bills but never dreams. But when the layoffs came, her name was on that list, printed neatly in black ink, as if her years of loyalty could be erased with a single email. At first, she told herself it was fine. I'll find something better, she said, pretending to believe it. But weeks turned into months, and each rejection felt heavier than the last. The rent notices started stacking, the calls from her mother turned into prayers instead of conversations, and her confidence, her once fierce, unbreakable confidence, started to feel like a costume she couldn't afford to wear anymore. But Maya wasn't the kind of woman who gave up easily. Her grandmother had raised her on stories of survival, of women who carried generations on their backs without ever letting their crowns slip. We bend, baby, but we don't break. And those words, they echoed like a heartbeat in her mind every time she wanted to collapse. One afternoon, after another interview that ended with a polite, "We'll be in touch," Maya found herself standing at a bus stop. Rain soaking through her thin coat. She looked around, people scrolling on their phones, earbuds in, pretending not to see her. And for the first time, she felt invisible. That invisibility burned more than any rejection ever could. She thought, is this what happens when you stop being useful? You disappear? That night, she walked into her small kitchen, turned on the light, and saw an eviction notice taped to the door. Something inside her broke, but not in the way she expected. It wasn't weakness, it was clarity. She sat on the floor, rainwater still dripping from her hair, and whispered to herself, "I'm not done yet." That was the night Maya decided she wouldn't live life by other people's decisions anymore. She opened her laptop, stared at the blinking cursor on an empty document, and began to write. Not a resume this time, but a story. Her story. Every disappointment, every rejection, every moment she was told she wasn't enough, she poured it all out like a confession to the world. She didn't edit, didn't polish, didn't hold back. It was raw, it was painful, and it was real. She hit publish and closed the laptop, expecting nothing. But the next morning, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Hundreds of comments, thousands of views, people saying things like, "This is my life. I thought I was the only one. Thank you for saying what I couldn't." For the first time in months, Maya smiled, a real one. Because she realized something powerful. She wasn't invisible. She was a mirror. The messages kept pouring in. Every refresh brought new names, new stories, new women. Mothers, daughters, strangers from all over the country, telling Maya how her words gave them strength. For years, she had felt unheard, but now thousands of voices echoed hers, and it was louder than she'd ever imagined. That small story she wrote at 2 a.m. had turned into a wave, and she was standing in the middle of it, trying to breathe. Days blurred into nights. She started recording short videos, sitting by her window with sunlight spilling across her face, speaking honestly about fear, self-worth, and the quiet battles women fight when no one's watching. She didn't wear makeup. She didn't filter her pain. She just told the truth. And somehow, that truth began to travel faster than she ever could. Within weeks, her following grew, 10,000, 50,000, 200,000. But success, she learned, was a double-edged sword. Because for every message of love, there was another full of envy, cruelty, or judgment. People started dissecting her, accusing her of using her pain for fame. Brands began reaching out, offering money, deals, partnerships, but they wanted her to soften the edges, to smile more, to sound less angry. They wanted her to be palatable, marketable, polished. But Maya had promised herself something the night she hit rock bottom. She would never shrink again to make others comfortable. Still, the bills didn't disappear, and her landlord didn't take likes as rent. So one evening, after hours of pacing the floor, she said yes to a brand deal. Just one, she told herself, just enough to survive. The next morning, she filmed the ad, her voice steady, her smile faint. But when she uploaded it, the comments turned cold. You sold out. You're just like the rest. Guess pain pays well, huh? She sat there reading them, feeling something twist inside. It wasn't guilt. It was exhaustion. The same people who begged her to rise now mocked her for surviving differently. That night, she turned off her phone, closed her laptop, and sat on the balcony staring at the city lights. Each light felt like a story. Someone dreaming, someone crying, someone pretending to be okay. She whispered to herself, when did healing become performance? But then, something shifted again. A message appeared in her inbox from a girl named Leah, a teenager from Chicago. I was going to end my life last month, but I found your video about not giving up, and I didn't. I'm still here because of you. Maya read that line over and over until her vision blurred. It hit her that her voice wasn't just hers anymore. It was a lifeline, a thread pulling people back from the edge. And suddenly, all the noise, the hate, the doubt, they didn't matter. She picked up her phone again, hit record, and said quietly, if you're watching this and you feel like you're done, I promise you, you're not. You're becoming. The video spread like wildfire, not because it was perfectly shot, but because it was perfectly human. Millions watched it. News outlets shared it. Overnight, Maya's name became a headline, and the world wanted to know who she was. But fame, even when it's wrapped in love, carries its own kind of loneliness. She started noticing people treating her differently, friends who now called her for clout, strangers who recognized her in grocery stores, smiling like they knew her when they never really did. And in all that noise, Maya started missing something simple: peace. One night, as the moonlight spilled across her apartment, she turned off all the lights, sat on the floor, and whispered, I just wanted to be heard, not seen, just heard. That was when she decided to disappear. Not forever, but long enough to remember who she was without the internet echoing her name.
She didn't announce her departure. There was no goodbye post, no long caption. One day, she simply stopped uploading. The world moved on quickly, as it always does, chasing new faces, new stories, new noise. But for Maya, that silence felt sacred. She packed a small bag, left her apartment keys on the counter, and boarded a bus heading south. She didn't know where she was going. She just knew she needed to be somewhere that didn't ask her to be anything. The bus rumbled through long stretches of highway, through towns that smelled of rain and fried food, through sunsets that painted the sky in colors she hadn't noticed in years. Somewhere outside Savannah, she stepped off, feeling the weight of stillness around her. She found a small cabin to rent, nothing fancy, just a bed, a kettle, and air thick with cicadas. For the first few nights, she slept without dreaming, her body learning the language of quiet again. In the mornings, she'd walk barefoot across the wet grass, coffee mug in hand, watching the mist drift between the trees. Sometimes she'd write in a notebook, not for an audience, not for validation, just for herself. She wrote about healing, about the soft power of slowing down, about how women like her were taught to survive, but rarely taught to rest. She wrote about the world's obsession with productivity, with perfection, with pretending, and how the real revolution might just be learning to breathe without apology. Weeks passed, and something inside her began to realign. She realized how long she had been carrying other people's expectations, how even her healing had been curated for them. Out there, surrounded by silence, she didn't have to perform anymore. She cried when she needed to. She laughed for no reason. She danced barefoot to old soul music until sweat kissed her skin. She was rediscovering joy without an audience, and that joy felt like truth. One afternoon, while sitting by the lake, she met an older woman named Evelyn, a retired teacher with silver braids and eyes that had seen too much to ever judge. Evelyn sat beside her and said, "You've been running, haven't you?" Maya smiled weakly and said, "I guess I have." Evelyn nodded, her voice soft like wind through leaves. "The thing about running," she said, "is that sometimes we're not running away, we're running toward ourselves." Those words stayed with Maya long after Evelyn left. That night, under a sky heavy with stars, she opened her notebook and wrote a single line. "Maybe I was never lost, just unfinished." Months later, she returned to the city, not because she missed it, but because she was ready to face it differently. She didn't want to chase fame or numbers. She wanted to build something real, something that could help other women find the strength she almost forgot she had. She started hosting small workshops in community centers, teaching women how to write their own stories, how to turn pain into purpose. She called it the Unbroken Project. The first session only had 5 women. One was a single mother working 2 jobs. Another was a college student struggling with identity. They sat in a circle, sharing pieces of themselves that the world had overlooked. And for the first time, Maya didn't feel like a savior. She felt like a sister. Word spread, slowly but steadily. More women came. Some brought their daughters. Others brought journals filled with memories they had buried for years. And as they spoke, Maya realized something beautiful. The healing she had once sought for herself was now rippling through others. Her voice was no longer echoing in the digital void. It was alive, tangible, changing lives in real time. One evening, after a session ended, a young woman approached her, tears in her eyes. She said, "Your story saved me, but your silence taught me how to save myself." Maya smiled, her heart swelling with quiet pride. She finally understood that her power had never been in the fame or the followers. It was in the courage to tell the truth and then to live it. As the sun set behind her, painting the sky gold, Maya looked at the women, laughing, hugging, writing, and she whispered to herself, This is what I was meant for." But life, as always, had one more test waiting for her. It came quietly, like all heartbreaks do, not with a bang, but with a whisper. One morning, while preparing for another workshop, Maya received a call from the hospital. Her mother had suffered a stroke. The words hit her like a wave she didn't see coming. She packed a bag, heart trembling, and drove 6 hours to her hometown, the same streets she had once dreamed of escaping, the same small house with peeling paint, where her mother used to braid her hair and tell her stories of women who never gave up. When Maya walked into that hospital room, her mother lay there, weak but still radiant, her hand trembling slightly as she reached out. "You came?" she whispered. Maya nodded, trying not to cry. "Of course, Mama. I always will." Days passed. Maya stayed by her side, reading her favorite books, playing old gospel songs from her phone, whispering stories about the women from the Unbroken Project, how they were healing, how they were finding their power. Her mother listened quietly, a faint smile on her lips. "You're doing good work, baby," she said softly one night. "Just don't forget to live while you're saving others." That line stayed with Maya long after her mother closed her eyes for the last time. She stood at the funeral, surrounded by family and neighbors, and felt a strange kind of peace, grief wrapped in gratitude. Because her mother had given her everything, even in goodbye, the permission to be human again. After the burial, Maya sat alone on the porch, dusk folding over the world. The air smelled like magnolia and rain. She looked up at the stars and whispered, "I'm still here, Mama, still becoming." When she returned to Atlanta weeks later, something had changed in her. Her voice was softer but deeper, her purpose sharper. She didn't chase virality anymore, she created meaning. She started sharing new videos, not about pain, but about rebirth, about love after loss, about the quiet bravery of starting again when no one's clapping. And those videos, raw, gentle, honest, began to spread faster than anything she'd ever made before. One clip, filmed in her mother's old kitchen, went viral across America. She sat by the window, voice steady and real, saying, "Maybe healing isn't about fixing what's broken. Maybe it's about learning to live beautifully, even with the cracks. Because the truth is, you're not behind, you're just becoming." The video reached millions, but this time, Maya didn't measure its success in views or shares. She measured it in the messages she received. Women saying they finally forgave themselves, that they finally got out of bed, that they finally chose to stay. A few months later, a producer from New York contacted her, wanting to turn the Unbroken Project into a documentary. She hesitated at first, afraid of losing the quiet peace she had built, but then she remembered Evelyn's words. Sometimes we're not running away, we're running toward ourselves. So she said yes. The documentary premiered on a rainy evening in Brooklyn. Maya walked in wearing her mother's scarf, her heart pounding, her hands cold but steady. The lights dimmed, and the screen came alive with her journey. Every scar, every fall, every rise. When the credits rolled, the audience stood in silence. Then applause erupted, loud and long. Tears filled her eyes as she realized she had come full circle, from a woman who once felt invisible to one whose story helped thousands see themselves again. Later that night, standing outside the theater, the city lights reflecting in her eyes, she took a deep breath and whispered into the night. This was never about being famous. It was about being found. The wind carried her words away, soft and endless, like a prayer for every woman who had ever been told she was too much or not enough. Because now, Maya's story wasn't just hers, it belonged to all of them. And somewhere, in a small apartment across the country, another woman sat by her window, scrolling through her phone, lost and tired, and ready to give up, until she stumbled upon Maya's voice, whispering, "Don't quit yet. You're just becoming."
And before you leave, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Maya's Midnight Voices, where every story finds its voice.